Remember when life felt simpler? When a handwritten note meant more than 100 text messages? The 1970s housewife knew secrets about managing a home that we've forgotten in our rush toward complicated modern solutions. Today, I'm sharing vintage wisdom that can transform your daily routine and bring back the joy you've been missing. Welcome back to our channel, where we celebrate timeless wisdom for today's challenges. If you're over 50 and feeling overwhelmed by modern life's complexity, you're in the right place. The homemakers of the 70s mastered efficiency without smartphones, meal kit deliveries, or smart home devices. Their methods weren't just effective, they created peace of mind and genuine satisfaction. Before we dive in, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our vintage wisdom videos. Now, let's rediscover what made homemaking an art form. The first revelation from that remarkable decade is the power of the Monday through Friday system. Unlike today's chaotic multitasking approach, 70s homemakers assigned specific tasks to specific days. Monday was laundry day, Tuesday for ironing, Wednesday for deep cleaning, Thursday for grocery shopping and errands, Friday for baking and meal preparation. This wasn't restriction, it was liberation. Your mind knew exactly what to focus on each day, eliminating the exhausting mental gymnastics of constantly deciding what needs doing next. Modern research on decision fatigue proves what these women intuitively understood. Every decision depletes your mental energy. By establishing routines, you preserve that energy for things that truly matter: creative hobbies, meaningful conversations, quiet reflection. Think about your current week. How much mental energy do you waste each morning deciding what to tackle first? The Monday through Friday method eliminates that drain entirely. Let me share the morning routine that 70s housewives swore by. They rose early, not from obligation, but from the peaceful satisfaction of having quiet time before the household stirred. That first hour wasn't rushed. They'd brew proper coffee, not grabbed from a drive-through, and actually sit down to drink it. They'd review their single-day focus, check their handwritten calendar, and mentally prepare for their specific tasks. No scrolling through phones, no bombardment of news notifications, just intentional, peaceful preparation. The kitchen was their command center, and here's where their genius truly shone. 70s homemakers kept a master recipe box, not scattered recipes saved on phones or bookmarked websites you can never find again. Physical cards you could touch, shuffle, and organize. Each card included notes about family favorites, adjustments that worked, and which occasions suited each dish. This wasn't just organization, it was building a legacy. Many of you watching probably have your mother's or grandmother's recipe box. That's something no digital collection can replicate. Their approach to meal planning deserves special attention. Sunday evenings were dedicated to planning the week's menus. They'd check what was already in the pantry, review grocery store sales from the newspaper, and plan meals accordingly. No last-minute panic about dinner, no expensive emergency takeout orders, no food waste from ingredients purchased without purpose. They understood something we've forgotten: that planning creates freedom, not limitation. The pantry itself reflected this wisdom. 70s housewives maintained what they called a working pantry. Basics always on hand for any situation: flour, sugar, canned goods, dried beans, rice, pasta, and essential spices. Not the overflowing, chaotic pantries we see today, with expired items shoved in back. Everything had its place, was rotated regularly, and served a purpose. They could create a satisfying meal from pantry staples alone, a skill that saved money and reduced stress. Their cleaning solutions were remarkably simple, yet incredibly effective. Vinegar, baking soda, lemon juice, and basic soap handled virtually everything. No toxic chemicals, no expensive, specialized products for every surface. This wasn't just economical, it was healthier. Many cleaning problems we face today stem from buildup of various chemical products interacting badly. 70s simplicity eliminated those issues entirely. Welcome back to our journey through 70s homemaking wisdom. In part 1, we discovered the Monday through Friday system and the power of simplified routines. Now we're diving deeper into how these remarkable women managed their time and spaces with grace that seems almost magical by today's standards. The organizational principles they lived by can revolutionize how you experience your home and daily life. Let's talk about the 15-minute miracle. 70s housewives understood that small, consistent efforts create major results. Rather than letting tasks accumulate into overwhelming projects, they practiced what was called the 15-minute tidy. Before lunch, before dinner, and before bed, they'd spend just 15 minutes putting things back where they belonged. Not deep cleaning, simply maintaining order. This prevented the chaos that makes cleaning feel insurmountable. You can implement this immediately. Set a timer for 15 minutes. You'll be amazed how much ground you cover when you're focused and time-limited. The psychological benefit is profound. Instead of feeling like housework never ends, you have clear boundaries. 15 minutes, then you're done with that session. This creates sustainable habits rather than the boom and bust cycle of ignoring mess until you must spend an entire exhausting day cleaning. Their approach to closets and storage deserves careful attention. 70s homemakers followed the one-in, one-out rule religiously. When something new entered the home, something old departed. This wasn't deprivation, it was maintaining equilibrium. They recognized that excess possessions don't bring happiness, they bring burden. Every item in their homes served a purpose or brought genuine joy. Sound familiar? This principle predates modern decluttering trends by decades. Seasonal rotation was practiced faithfully. Winter clothes were properly cleaned and stored when spring arrived. Holiday decorations had designated storage with labeled boxes, no frantic searching through unmarked containers. Linens were rotated so everything wore evenly. This mindful rotation meant possessions lasted longer and you always knew exactly what you had and where to find it. The linen closet itself reveals their organizational genius. Sheets were folded and stored as complete sets inside their matching pillowcases. Towels were rolled rather than folded, making them easier to grab and creating more storage space. Everything was organized by frequency of use, everyday items at eye level, occasional items higher or lower. No specialized organizers needed, just thoughtful arrangement. Their approach to paperwork management solved a problem that overwhelms many today. They kept a household binder with sections for important documents, warranties, instruction manuals, medical records, and financial information. Everything filed immediately upon receipt. Once monthly, they'd review and purge outdated materials. This simple system meant never frantically searching for crucial documents during emergencies. Time management in the 70s relied on realistic expectations. These housewives understood they couldn't do everything, so they prioritized ruthlessly. They asked 3 questions about every task. Is this necessary? Am I the only person who can do it? Does this align with my values? If the answers didn't support doing the task, they let it go without guilt. This wisdom directly counters today's pressure to do everything perfectly. Their secret weapon was the delegation mindset. Family members had assigned responsibilities appropriate to their ages. Children learned life skills through meaningful contribution. Husbands participated in household management. This wasn't about the housewife doing less. It was about the household functioning as a team. Everyone felt ownership and pride in their home. The evening routine created peaceful transitions to bedtime. After dinner, the kitchen was completely cleaned, no waking to yesterday's mess. The next day's clothes were laid out. The coffee maker was prepared for morning. These small evening investments created calm, unhurried mornings. Compare this to the modern habit of leaving evening tasks undone and facing them during the morning rush. 70s homemakers scheduled downtime as seriously as they scheduled work. Every afternoon included a genuine break, sitting down with tea or coffee, perhaps reading or pursuing a hobby. This wasn't laziness, it was sustainability. They understood that constant motion leads to burnout, Rest was productive because it maintained their energy and enthusiasm. Their philosophy toward perfection offers perhaps the most important lesson. They aimed for good enough, not perfect. A meal didn't need restaurant presentation. A home needed to be clean and comfortable, not showroom perfect. This released them from the exhausting perfectionism that plagues so many today. They found joy in the process, not anxiety about the outcome. These organizational and time management principles create the foundation for something even more valuable: genuine hospitality and emotional wellness. In our final part, we'll explore how 70s housewives created warm, welcoming homes that nurtured everyone who entered, and how these practices can restore balance to your modern life. We have reached the heart of what made 70s homemaking truly special. Beyond the routines and organization, these women created something our modern world desperately lacks: homes that felt like sanctuaries. They mastered the art of genuine hospitality, emotional wellness, and creating meaningful traditions. These final lessons might be the most transformative of all. The 70s approach to hospitality was beautifully uncomplicated. When neighbors or friends visited, they were genuinely welcomed, not entertained. There wasn't frantic house-perfect preparation or catered food. Instead, there was fresh coffee, something homemade from the kitchen, and comfortable conversation. The focus was connection, not impression. Guests felt relaxed because the hostess was relaxed. This principle transforms modern entertaining anxiety. You don't need elaborate preparations to show love and create meaningful gatherings. A simple cake made from a reliable recipe, comfortable seating, and your full attention create far more warmth than expensive catering and formal arrangements ever could. 70s housewives proved that hospitality is about generosity of spirit, not perfection of presentation. Their coffee clutch tradition deserves revival. Regularly scheduled morning gatherings where neighborhood women shared conversation, advice, and support created vital community connections. These weren't formal events, just reliable times when you knew friends would gather. In our isolated modern world where loneliness affects millions despite constant digital connection, this face-to-face community model offers profound healing. Consider starting your own version. Perhaps Thursday morning coffee with neighbors, or Tuesday afternoon tea with friends. The consistency matters more than the elaborateness. You're creating dependable connection in a world where everyone feels too busy for spontaneous visits. This simple practice combats isolation and builds genuine support networks. The way 70s housewives handled stress and emotional wellness was remarkably advanced. They understood that a peaceful home environment directly affected mental health. They controlled what they could: routines, organization, cleanliness, which created stability during uncertain times. They didn't pursue happiness through acquisition, but through contentment with what they had. Their practice of handwritten correspondence maintained relationships and created lasting joy. A thoughtful note to a friend, a card to celebrate someone's achievement, or a letter to distant family took time but created connections that phone calls couldn't match. In our text message culture, receiving actual handwritten mail feels extraordinarily special. This is something you can implement immediately. Keep nice note cards handy and write brief notes regularly. 70s housewives protected their homes from external chaos. News consumption was limited to scheduled times: morning paper, evening television news. They didn't carry anxiety-inducing information constantly in their pockets. This boundary protected their mental peace and their family's atmosphere. Consider implementing news-free zones in your day. Your awareness of world events doesn't require constant connectivity to distressing information. Their approach to budgeting and financial peace deserves attention. They used cash envelope systems, tracked expenses in ledgers, and lived within their means without feeling deprived. The clarity of physical money and written records created awareness that digital transactions lack. Many financial experts now recommend returning to these tangible methods because they work better than apps and spreadsheets for most people. The way they savored seasonal rhythms created natural anticipation and joy.
Spring meant opening windows and refreshing curtains. Summer brought different meals and outdoor activities. Fall inspired preserving harvests and preparing for holidays. Winter meant cozy indoor projects and planning for spring. This alignment with natural cycles created fulfillment that constant artificial sameness cannot provide. Their hobby time was sacred and guilt-free. Whether sewing, gardening, crafting, or reading, they pursued activities that brought personal satisfaction. These weren't monetized side hustles or Instagram-worthy projects, just genuine enjoyment. This models healthy self-care and demonstrates that your worth isn't solely defined by productivity. Perhaps most importantly, 70s housewives understood that homemaking was valuable work, deserving respect and satisfaction. They didn't apologize for choosing to create comfortable, welcoming homes. They found dignity and purpose in their daily tasks. This mindset matters regardless of your current life situation. Whether you're retired, still working, or managing a household, approaching home tasks with pride rather than resentment transforms the experience. The wisdom of 70s homemakers offers more than efficiency tips. It provides a blueprint for creating lives of genuine contentment and purpose. These women mastered balance before it became a buzzword. They created beauty within limitations. They nurtured without sacrificing themselves. Their methods work because they honor human needs for routine, simplicity, connection, and meaning. I encourage you to choose just one principle from these 3 parts and implement it this week. Perhaps the Monday through Friday system, maybe the 15-minute tidy, or possibly starting a regular coffee gathering with friends. Small changes create remarkable transformations when maintained consistently. Please share this video series with others who might benefit from these vintage wisdom lessons. Subscribe to our channel for more content celebrating timeless practices for modern challenges. Comment below telling me which 70s homemaking principle you're implementing first and how it's working for you. Thank you for joining this journey back to joyful, balanced homemaking. Until next time, remember that simpler really can be better.